Good morning and welcome to 360 Live. It is great to be here. You would have seen the studio before. I'm back in my studio for the first time in 2026. As we all know, it's a new year and as exciting new challenges arise. Yeah, let me know what's happening in your lives. If 2026 started off well, we concluded the Ashes. The Women's Premier League started. There's SA20, plenty to cover in the live show. But I would love to converse with you guys. I would like to get the communication channels open. So please ask some questions down below in the descriptions box. As per usual, subscribe to the channel, like the show, and let's go. First up, guys, Women's Premier League. RCB off to a flyer. Great start. Tricky match, always very, very tricky matchup against the Mumbai Indians. But Mumbai Indians being restricted to 154. Thanks to Lauren Bell's heroics with the ball in hand. 19 dot balls in a spell. That is quite something, guys. It's unheard of. It's happened a couple of times here and there in the past for both men's and women, but to bowl 19 dot balls is quite something, especially if the opposition gets to 154. So what a fantastic effort there. RCB letting slip of some catches in the field, but all in all, a fantastic performance. And superhero Nadine de Klerk announces her arrival at RCB with a match-winning performance, not only with the bat in hand, but with the ball in hand as well. Phenomenal from her 4 for 26. So not as many dot balls as Lauren Bell, but still got the 4 wickets, which really was a big thorn in the side for the Mumbai Indian batters, constantly getting wickets, bowling wicket to wicket. She's very accurate, doesn't do crazy things with the ball, but very consistent, knowing what she does best, and that is to hit the mark. Very similar to some spinners like a Ravindra Jadeja. Doesn't do a lot, but hardly ever misses it. Reads the game well, and just a wonderful performance. 63 not out of 44 deliveries. Tricky chase as RCB got to 7 down, but she had the cool, calm, and collected mindset to cross the line for the team. And just a great start, guys. We know RCB defending champions at this year's WPL, and hopefully they'll go on to do it again. That is definitely the right start, and it will be so crucial for the confidence and the morale of the squad. Coming in as defending champions sometimes puts a bit of a burden on you. You do tend to overthink it sometimes. There would have been lots of meetings, preparation going into this first game, not knowing what to expect against the Mumbai Indians, a strong team, but then to get that first tricky win out of the way, and also the fact that it wasn't easy. They'll feel like even though it's only one game into the tournament, they'll feel like they battle-hardened against a strong team and now really set up for the rest of the tournament. You want a tricky game and just cross the line somehow, by hook or by crook. Not pretty, but just get the job done. I think you would have heard of that before. We heard a lot of that in the Ashes as well. Some of the performances not pretty, but Australia got the job done when it mattered most. And that's exactly what RCB did here in that first game. Fantastic start. All right. I'm going to take 1 or 2 questions on the Women's Premier League. I want to know what you guys think. This tournament's gone from strength to strength, and it's really great to see women's cricket keep growing and keep getting bigger and better. The performances from the individuals as well. Since that T20 World Cup we watched not so long ago, I just feel like there's almost a new level of individual performances and really heroes standing up and becoming household names. And that's exactly where you want the sport to be. And that's where the women's cricket around the world have taken that standard to. And it's just great to see. All right, Nadine de Klerk, AB de Villiers, ABD for destruction. We have seen South Africa play clutch for us before. It's Alien de Villiers, love from RCB Nation, always RCB. All right, comparing the two of us, I see where you're coming from. Middle order batters who like the pressure, love doing well for the team and having an impact. And we see Nadine doing exactly that. We saw that for the Proteas women's side as well. And she's taken that confidence and that impactful performance into the RCB setup as well. Hopefully that consistency can continue. She's a wonderful player, and what I love most about her is she chips in with both bat and ball. It's not just a one-dimensional player. I didn't bowl in the IPL, but I tried my absolute best when I didn't bat to have an impact in some way in the field, helping the captain, supporting the bowlers, and trying to stop as many runs as possible. Obviously, also took the gloves, so you can sort of call me an all-rounder as well. I bowled in World Cups. Not that I wanted to. I've never really been a bowler, but I tried my best to contribute. And that's what Nadine de Klerk brings to the table for every team she plays for, in this case, RCB. And it's great to have her at RCB playing bold. So well done to Nadine, onwards and upwards, and hopefully more fantastic performances from her. The confidence is high, and it's great to see a sports star with such great confidence. We'll keep a close eye on her for the rest of the tournament, as I don't think she's done. So good things to come there. Sorry, RCB won the year before. My team just corrected me. So Mumbai Indians came in with that pressure, but RCB, having won it recently, obviously would want to do it again, feeling that pressure of, we've won the trophy before, didn't have a great year last year, but we want to go and do it again. That's what I was referring to. Sorry for me saying defending champs. And there's Nadine, player of the match. Fantastic. All right, guys, that is it for the WPL. Keep a close eye on the rest of the tournament. I'm a big fan, and I can't wait to watch the rest unfold as we have a little baby alien here today. The team over there in India is absolutely fantastic with the graphics and the artwork. Well done, guys. Thanks for that. I love the alien theme, and I want to know also what you guys think of it. What should we bring in there? Maybe a little cricket bat next time in the one hand to show that this baby is ready to go and take bigger things over there in space with from a cricketing perspective. The Ashes, guys. Let's move on to the Ashes. 4-1. Sorry, the SA20 I see they want to talk about. So we start with the SA20 rather. Yes, because we have some questions about that. So a crucial win for Pretoria Capitals the other night against a powerful DSG team. Joss Butler playing for Durban Super Giants almost sort of crossed the line there at the back end. The game looked done and dusted. It was absolutely crazy, and it shows you the class of Joss Butler once again. Obviously not having enough partners. If he had one partner in the top order just to bat with him, just play normal cricket, they would have beaten Pretoria Capitals, I feel. It was a high-scoring match as the Capitals, Shea Hope, scored 100 up front. Wonderful knock. And that already showed you that the wicket is pretty good, and it's not your typical Durban wicket where it takes a lot of turn. So Joshy was up for the challenge, chasing, and unfortunately no one there to support him. He needed one batter. Just coming up shy of 100. If he had a partner, he would have crossed that 100, no doubt about it. And yeah, unfortunately for DSG, I tipped them as the strongest team on paper, and they're not looking very strong at the moment. 1 out of 7. It's got to be added. Lots of rain-affected matches. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it doesn't really take away from poor performances, but they haven't had the opportunity to get a bit of rhythm, and they find themselves in trouble, probably having to win all of their remaining matches. Pretoria Capitals, on the other hand, also a strong squad. Slow start, but definitely still in the game with 11 points there in the top 4. Remember, the top 4 will qualify. It's quite a unique kind of setup for a tournament. You know, the IPL 10 teams and only 4 qualify. Yes, only 6 teams and 4 qualify. So it's almost difficult not to qualify. You have a lot of bites at the cherry, and it's really your own fault if you don't manage to find yourself in the top 4. At least for Pretoria Capitals, only playing 6. I haven't played 6. If they can get a win now in the next game, really jumping further away from DSG and also my Cape Town, it will give them that confidence to know that they will most probably be in the top 4, and now they can really chase for the top 2 possibly. Great tournament, guys, and we heard JP Duminy speaking about the SA20 providing for the Proteas to get a bit of momentum and confidence for the Proteas squad, the players. Yes, they're not playing together in the SA20, but you know how important it is for players individually to be in form going into a World Cup and then getting together and finding that chemistry as a unit together, and players really feeding off each other. If you see Quinny de Kock scoring 100 after 100 in the SA20, his opening partner at the World Cup, maybe not the finest form, will feel that confidence from Quinny and sort of feed off it. And that's what you want. You want as many players in form as possible, and the SA20 provides that platform, and that's what JP Duminy was talking about. I will be leaving for work now, and I might miss the live. My question to you is, Do you think there is space for one or two teams in the SA20 to give more young players an opportunity at the pro level? Absolutely. And that's actually under the hood what I wanted to say. Only 6 teams and 4 qualifiers. So that takes a little bit away from the tournament, where I feel it shouldn't be that easy to qualify for the knockouts. But that's not the main reason. I feel the main reason is exactly what you mentioned now: 2 more squads to provide more opportunity for players to fulfill that spots, especially the youngsters. I always speak about the younger players in South Africa getting that exposure and the platform to showcase their skill and their talents, and that's what you want. So keep an eye out for that. I do feel it is in the pipeline. I truly would be very surprised if Graham and the organisers of the SA20 haven't already thought about it. Where they will have those 2 teams based, I don't know. Maybe another Joburg team or another Highveld team, but you already have 2. You already have 2 teams in the Cape Province, Paul Royals and my Cape Town. And then the other venues around South Africa, nothing wrong with them, but I don't think you'll create that same kind of hype. At the moment, these grounds that they play the SA20 at really sort of help with the atmosphere and the hype that's been built around the tournament in the last 4 seasons. This is the 4th season now. So where they will have those 2 teams based, I don't know, but I would love to see 2 more added. Maybe in the Natal Midlands, maybe in Benoni, Potchefstroom, Bloemfontein, all sort of the smaller grounds that don't often see games. The main thing is, will you fill those stands up? And if the answer is not yes, then it's most probably not worth it, and you should probably go for a 3rd Western Cape team, or even Eastern Cape, or a 3rd Highveld team over here somewhere in Joburg or Pretoria, or in the area, not so far away. The other options, obviously, to go to Namibia, Zimbabwe, and maybe have like an African feel to the SA20, add 2 teams, maybe one from Namibia, one from Zimbabwe, and you have teams flying there for games in and out. Could be interesting. There are lots of options. And maybe they just go to a vibey town like Stellenbosch and they build a stadium there. And believe me, it will get filled up. And then you have that derby between the derbies between Paul, Stellenbosch, and Cape Town. It could be quite interesting that. Anyway, the SA20 is off to a flyer. Some really good games. Unfortunately, lots of rain-affected matches, as it's raining a lot this time of the year in South Africa, more than previous years, actually. There's always rain around this time of the year, but it's been really bad. So touch wood, hopefully no more rain-affected matches, as I will be going to my first live SA20 match on the 12th of January over here at Centurion Park. Pretoria Capitals will be, I think, facing off against my Cape Town. I'm taking the family with a lot of friends of ours. Also, their kids will come along. We're a big group of people that will go and enjoy in the fun, or enjoy in on the fun of the SA20. But there's the log, guys. Sunrisers Eastern Cape haven't won the tournament twice before, already making a run at it again on 19 points already. JSK always in the mix with Stephen Fleming, Faf, and a very experienced unit. They always go for that experienced feel in their side, I feel, and a very smart team. They hardly ever get blown out of the water. They're always in the challenge, and that's what I like about JSK. Very similar style to what CSK always puts on the table. Very competitive unit, especially in the past, right? With Donnie as captain, with Jadu there, Ashwin, and a few others. I always felt playing against them, you're never going to run away with it. And similar with international cricket, when you play against Australia, you hardly ever sort of knock them out. It's always a battle out there right till the end. You have to be switched on the entire game, otherwise they will take the momentum away from you. So that's what JSK has created, and well done to them for that. Paul Royals, great to see them there. Pretoria Capitals, that's your top 4. All right, switch your TV screens on because we have a double header today. If I can just double check, the double header today is Paul Royals and Pretoria Capitals. So big game for the Capitals there. Hopefully we'll jump ahead of Paul Royals with a good win. And then the Joburg Super Kings and my Cape Town. Also in Joburg that. So the one is in Paul, that first game. I don't think we'll see any rain there, touch wood. But the Joburg one, always a risk for rain. All right, guys, that's it for the SA20. I'd like to take a question or two about the SA20. Who, according to you, is going to win the SA20 this year? Who are your bias towards? Obviously, Pretoria Capitals, guys. Look, it's not a very confident shout out that, because Their performances since the start of the tournament up until now has always been very inconsistent, and hopefully that Shea Hope's 100. I mean, I'm a big fan of his very steady player. I mean, he showcased some of his skills in that last match. He's never been a big hitter, but really works the field incredibly well. He's a pain to bowl to, and for captains to plan towards, and he's just very, very steady. He can accelerate, and he showcased some of that skill in Durban with his previous match. But he's one of few that stand out. We need more in form. We need some of that middle order to come to the party and support him. All right, so that's my call. Pretoria Capitals. It's unlikely, but you never know. They can just find some form and take that all the way through. Keshav Maharaj is there, the very experienced Proteas left arm bowler. Hopefully he can guide the troops and get a bit of chemistry there in the side. So we'll see how they go about that. Let's talk about the Ashes, guys. Lots of controversy around the Ashes. 4-1 to Australia. Fantastic performance. And as you know, it's never, ever easy. I'm not surprised with those stats. Look at those stats. 2013, 5-0. And then they went on to the next one, 4-0, 4-0, 4-1. So maybe it's the sign of things to come for England. Just sort of snatching one there. I think they were lucky to win that one as well, as Australia sort of put the foot off the pedal, and unfortunately for them, not making it 5-0. But well done to England for at least getting one win there. It looks doomy and gloomy. I truly believe there's lots of positives for England to take out of that. When I looked at that last England team at Sydney, they lost the test match, yes, but I looked at that 11 and I thought to myself, they're probably 2 players away from an absolutely magnificent test team. So I love that batting order, that lineup with Bethell there, Harry Brook, Jamie Smith. Very, very, very powerful, great players for the future. Remember those 3 names. Yes, they've already obviously performed, but I think they're going to really, really take fire to bowling attacks over the next 5 years. And then the bowling attack, probably lacking 1 or 2 bowlers as well, fast bowlers, that is. So if they can sort that out, they're 2 or 3 players short, guys, and that's it. The only other reason they had a poor performance over in Australia is because it's the Ashes in Australia. It's not easy to tour there. The minute Australia gets momentum, they hardly ever let it go, and they really make it like you're living in hell over there. And that's what it should be like when you're touring away from home, right? I think of India when we tour there, not as hostile from a media and public point of view, but the team itself, when they get on top, they don't let go, and you start feeling like you don't know where your next run's coming from. So just keep that in mind. It's not easy to tour there. It doesn't take away from, it doesn't give you the right to throw excuses at your performances, but just understanding that it's tough. Now, Brendan McCullum has been taking a lot of fire from former players, from the media, the press. In this case, Jeffrey Boycott feeling that he needs to step down and that it's time for someone else to take over and take them to the next level. I completely and fully disagree with that. I really believe, I've had a lot of criticism towards Bazball, and the nice thing is Brendan McCullum is also against that name, Bazball, but I really like what he's created. I think they've taken it too far. They almost need to come back a step. So Boycott saying that's the biggest level Baz could have taken them to. I feel they just need to step back a touch and go, all right, we know now we can be aggressive, but how do we become more consistent? How do we stay in the matches for longer periods of time? How do we identify moments in test matches where we can sort of just absorb the pressure and turn it around slowly but surely, instead of aggressively trying to knock the opposition out of the water? Remember, you're playing against other players as well who are the best in the world. You're not up against a high school team when you play against Australia, right? So when you come at them aggressively, they've got the power to come back at you as well. And just for England to have the mindset to identify those moments where you feel like, okay, it's a tricky situation. If we lose 2 or 3 wickets here, we're going to lose the test match. So full focus on not losing a wicket for the next hour or 30 minutes. And then having the players battle hardened and prepared to sort of encounter, to take on that 1 hour and just just absorb. And we know now they have the firepower to blow opposition out of the water, but just to be patient with that. So I fully disagree with this. I feel Baz is the man for the future for England cricket. He's sort of, I feel he's brought in all these youngsters. Very exciting to watch. Jamie Smith, Harry Brook, Jacob Bethell, those three, keep an eye on them. And that's because of Brendan McCullum, guys, and Rob Key. So I don't think there's anything wrong. It's just a matter of channeling that aggressive patches that they have and sort of also keeping in mind that we can't afford too much damage. So yes, I don't agree with that. 4-1, obviously the criticism will be there. I think Brendan McCullum also took a lot of offense to Nasser Hussain's interview. So he's a little bit on the back foot, and that is human, right? We're all a little bit insecure when our plans don't work out. We sort of just jump into our shells and try and protect ourselves and what we've been doing. But if he can keep his mind and just keep his head solid, keep focusing on his team, I truly believe he is the guy for the future. And keep an eye on that England team, guys. There's a lot of talent there. They will be tough to beat if they can keep the same flavor there, the same coach, not chop and change too much. Don't panic. Just stick at it and just become a little bit smarter. Okay, we'll move on then. I'll take a question around the Ashes. If you guys have a few questions, post it down below in the descriptions box, and I'll see how many I can cover. Next up, we will talk about India and New Zealand, that ODI series. But let's just take one question on the Ashes first, guys, before we get into Team India. There's lots to talk about there. Is there a question on the Ashes? I'll give you guys 10 seconds to come up with one. If not, then we'll move on to New Zealand tour of India. That's just around the corner on the 11th. That's tomorrow. Here we go. I think England players not coming to level of Brendan's expectations. I think maybe not. And that is something they will sort of, I think they will approach and discuss in the change room. That's personal conversations that will happen between the coach and the players. And I think they're all grown men. They're all matured. They've played some cricket now. Yes, they've taken a big slap in Australia, but if they can take the learning from that and be mature about it and find a way to move forward and become more consistent as a team. I know Brendan really well, guys. He really is a good human being, and he wants the best for his players. And I believe they will sort it out. They will have good conversations about it, and he's just got to keep his head and keep it focused on what he's been doing and where he sees them moving forward. And I think everything will be fine. Okay, that's enough for the Ashes, I think. Maybe not. What's your take on Jacob Bethell's maiden Ashes? So I wanted to talk about him a bit more. Do you think he's ready to be a long-term mainstay? Yes, I do. I read a little bit about him this morning as well. Very interesting upbringing over there in Barbados. Is where he grew up. Played a bit of cricket there. I think at the age of 12, Brian Lara sort of noticed his talents and I think spoke to him or tweeted about him. I'm not entirely sure. But if Brian Lara spots you at the age of 12, then you know there's something special there. He moved to England then. I think it's called the Rugby School or something like that in the UK, where he attended school and slowly but surely started excelling with cricket. And yeah, I mean, he's a great talent and very exciting to watch. Obviously, also took note of him at RCB when he played there. I felt like he had a calm head on his shoulders in some really tricky pressure moments in the IPL when he played. Maybe didn't play enough, and I'd like to see more of him. I really believe he's a great talent for the future. Whether that opening spot or the number 3 spot in the test match side of things is the right place for him to bat, we'll wait and see. But I do feel he's so talented, he can play anywhere in the lineup. I had a similar journey with my cricket at the age of 20. I've literally batted from 1 to 7 in all the formats almost. So it is something that a youngster is up for, always up for that challenge. And there's nothing wrong with jumping around a bit. He's still finding his feet and he just wants to play. And that's what you see at the crease. He really seems to enjoy his cricket. But the main thing that stands out to me is he's really calm. He looks like a fighter. He looks like he belongs there. And I mean, I loved watching that innings in that Ashes and truly feel that England could have won that final test. If Bethell had some support around him, if someone like a Stokes just got in, at that time, I think they felt like they already lost the test, but they they didn't realize that they were right there in the battle, and they just needed another 50 to 80 runs, get a 250 lead. But unfortunately, the mindset didn't seem to be there, and that's also expected after a long series like that. But Bethell is a great talent for the future, and I can't wait to watch him grow into a great, because that's most definitely going to happen, in my opinion. All right, India, New Zealand, guys. New Zealand touring to India. It's going to be a tough one for them. India winning that ODI series against South Africa recently. They seem to be in fine form in all white ball formats, obviously T20 and ODI. And that's exactly what's coming up here. 3 ODIs and 5 T20s. T20s getting the priority because of that World Cup being just around the corner. And obviously the ODI World Cup also not so far away. That will be the focus for Team India, is to build a bit of confidence, getting the right lineup ready for that 2027 World Cup. But yeah, it's all about Virat and Rohit, number 1 and 2 in the world. Rohit number 1 in the moment. And believe me, Virat will know about that. It's a healthy competition there, guys. There's number 1 and 2 batters in the world. Virat doesn't like to be number 2. And yes, they are teammates and they are friends. But I feel Virat will make a run at it. And just they will never talk about it, but they will know about it. Rohit will want to stay number 1. Virat will want to be number 1. And it's healthy competition within a squad that you want. Similar to a squad of 15 touring somewhere, the batters not playing will know exactly which guy is his main opposition and who he needs to take over in order to get more game time. You never talk about it, but you know about it, and that's what you work towards. So very, very good for Team India to have the 2 greatest players there, number 1 and 2. It's a healthy competition, and the team will only benefit from it. So it's really good. Let's just pull up the fixtures again, guys, so I can see the 5 T20s and the 3 ODIs and the venues. There we go. So it's starting tomorrow, Baroda, and then Rajkot Indoor. 3 ODIs against New Zealand. Let's not throw them away, guys. They are a very experienced, well-oiled machine, always a very smart cricket team. So it will be a good series to watch. And remember, New Zealand winning the Test series over there in India. I know it's not the same format, but they will try and remember that and what it feels like to win a series in India, and try and sort of take a little bit of learning, even though it's a different format. I promise you, it still plays a role in the mind. So, and then the 5 T20s, a lot of focus on that as well, with Surya Kumar Yadav as captain there, really building up to that World Cup. All right, so that's going to be great to watch. There's a squad, the ODI squad, Shubman as captain. We spoke about the dynamic of having Rohit and Virat in his ear with all that experience. It can just boast well for him if they manage the relationships well, and I feel they will. And the class of Indian cricket at the moment, it just shows you different squads in all the formats. And it's just such a great spot to be in, and a great space to be in for the Indian selectors to have this pool of players, everyone performing, and largely thanks to the IPL, just giving a lot of exposure to so many talented players around India. And then the selectors going and saying, all right, let's have a party here. Let's pick the best team for each format. And that's exactly what they've done. We see different top threes. We see different wicket keepers, different bowling attacks in all the formats. And it's just wonderful to see. So this is the ODI squad, very well balanced. And I think they have a lot to work with here, building up to that World Cup. We will probably see 1 or 2 changes for that World Cup squad in 2027. But this is a great squad. Lots of options with both bat and ball. Lots of athletic fielders as well. It's a young team, also enough experience there with Rohit and Virat. So just great for Team India, and I feel it will be really tough for New Zealand to win this series. So we'll see what comes from that. All right, moving on, guys. First on the SA squad, let's see something here. Hashim Amla and I have a question that what do you think about? I'm the cousin of Hashim Amla. All right. I'll check in with Hash if that's correct. I'm not sure what your name is. Crick Edits. It's great to have you on the 360 Live. Hashim is one of my really good friends. For those of you who didn't know it, he's a fantastic paddle player. That is that. I don't know if you know what sport that is. Paddle, whatever you call it. I played a bit with Hash in the WCL. I also picked up a slight injury. But we had a lot of competitive matches, and he also visited me in Pretoria He's a wonderful athlete. I never knew that while we were playing. And I always remember him hiding in the field and sort of looking like he's one of those players. For me as a captain, I always needed to look after him, put him in the slip cordon, put him at third man. And then I realized playing paddle against him is actually fast and he can run consistently and nonstop. Always with the fitness tests. You would bail out like on the yo-yo and the bleep test at level 12. And I would think to myself, okay, maybe he's just not a natural runner, you know. And I myself and Faf, who are very competitive, we would push on. But Hash was just always smarter than us, knowing that that is not where you score your runs. So, yeah, lots of love for Hash, but he is a fantastic athlete, and I never knew that about him. Right, cousin of Hash, what do I think of the World Cup 2026 and the squads and who will win? I think you're referring to the Proteas squad. The Proteas have a very good squad. Also, Team India, Australia. There's so many teams, guys, and anyone can win it. And we always say that. But that is the honest truth. But the trend has been that you generally see the same kind of teams ending up in the top. Team India, Australia, England. But hopefully this will be the year where Team South Africa, having played a few finals recently, will come through. They have a fantastic squad. Definitely capable of going all the way. Very well balanced, good spinners, good seam attack, good batters, good finishers. We see Donovan Ferreira there, a very powerful striker of the ball, and so many match winners in the team. So hopefully this will be the year for Team South Africa, for the Proteas to go on and win it. All right, so let's see. Virat Singh, I think that's your name, if I'm not mistaken. I'll check in with Hash if you really are his cousin. If you really, yeah, we'll see. Also played 3 IPL games in 2021 for Sunrisers. Goodness. Okay, I'll check in. I'll check up on that. Sorry for not knowing who you are. Sir, I'm struggling. Oh, no, I'm confusing myself here. Sorry. I'll check with Hash who his cousin is. All right. And Virat Singh, I'm struggling in the Ranji Trophy. Please give me a tip for the front foot defense. And it seems like you have played a few IPL games in 2021 for Sunrisers. All right, Virat. It's nice to have you on the show. Front foot defense, you're obviously talking about 4-day cricket. The main thing that comes to mind is playing the ball late, and while doing so, not having your head fall over. So those two things, I think, is the most important. Allowing the ball to come into your space. Go look at From AB to 360, the YouTube videos, coaching videos that I've posted. There's not everything is for you. Some of the stuff is more for beginners, but there are some advanced stuff on there if you can keep an eye out for that. I'll talk about the front arm being connected to the blade and just really getting into the plane, keeping your head upright, eyes level to the ground, and allowing the ball to come into your space. And the ball, as soon as it hits your blade, to sort of drop straight down. I clearly remember playing some games where I defended the ball and the ball would almost like pass my helmet. So straight into the ground and up. If you defend like that, then you've got the bases covered and everything's pretty good. All right, some general questions. Thanks, Virat, for that. To finish off, we'll do some general questions, and then I'll greet you and wish you a wonderful weekend ahead. How are you so positive about any situation? I never saw you getting angry. I got angry a few times, trust me, or getting into fight with the opposition. And I also got angry at opposition as well. No, that depends, guys. I always had a very deep drive and a very natural competitiveness to my game. And I did get into some fights, I remember, with the Mitchell Johnson, James Anderson, a few spinners as well, but hardly ever got rude. I always had respect for opposition, but I wanted to show them that I'm not going to step down or stand down to them, but that I'm in the battle and that I'm ready for the challenge. And I think that's very important for a sportsman, to have that competitive edge and to show the opposition with your body language. You don't always have to swear at them, but to show them that you are present and ready for the challenge. But definitely natural positiveness to my game, and that came from a very young age, as I always, I sort of grew up just seeing the positive side in a situation, always feeling like we can win from anywhere. We're never out of the game. So I think it's something you can train as well, constantly picking to have your glass half full throughout a day. You can do it in everyday life, as every single day you are confronted with some kind of a challenge. You can't just have the best day ever every single day of your life. Sometimes things will go wrong. You have a little you'll reverse your car into a wall, and all of a sudden your whole day turns around, or whatever. Your best friend says something to you that is borderline rude, and it sort of plays on your mind. You break a glass in the kitchen, whatever the case may be. You fail a test, and just things don't always go according to plan, and that's what it comes down to. But then you have a decision to make. You have a choice. How am I gonna confront this challenge? Am I gonna dwell on it and let it sort of bring me down, or am I gonna see the positive side of it? And how am I gonna find a solution? And I speak to my wife often about it, where we go through battles together, of family and life and challenges. And we always encourage each other, like, to find a solution. You can dwell on the mistakes and the challenges as long as you want, but that's not going to find you a solution. How do we get light in a bad situation? And same with cricket, guys. I mean, you're confronted with challenges all the time because the opposition is right there in your face. They want to get you out, but how am I going to find a solution? How do I get the base case in place? How do I get my game plan sorted? Minimize the risks, understand the threats, and sort of minimize them. How do I build a game plan around minimizing risk against the opposition, and then identify moments where I can sort of get on top of them? Where are their weaknesses? As soon as my game is in place, I feel my defense is sorted out. I have my options of scoring runs with the lowest risk possible. Now I can start identifying trends in the bowling attacks game plan, find weaknesses, and then start getting a game plan around really crushing them, crushing them down with my game plan. And that's where you still have low risk options for higher rewards. And that's the only thing that changes. So initially it's low risk for low reward. Get in the game, get behind the trends of the game and the match situation, and then find a way to turn it into low risk, high reward options. As simple as that. All right, a couple of short ones and we're out of here. There should be our team in SA20, Titans. Yes, there's all Pretoria Capital. So I think that's I think that's what you referred to. So the Titans is the team that play at Centurion Park. So the Pretoria Capitals is the team playing at Centurion Park at the moment. They can change their name, but obviously it's in affiliation with the Delhi Capitals. And that's why it's called the Pretoria Capitals, owned by the same owners, I believe. But it's, there is room for two more teams, and that's what it comes down to. So back to that topic, two more teams, maybe in the distant future, maybe even four more teams. That would be great to get it to that level of the IPL. But maybe the window for that will be really difficult. It will become a 2.5-month tournament. And I don't think with the international schedule and the IPL schedule, you will find that kind of time. So maybe two more teams, take it to a 6 weeks tournament, and that's still doable, I believe. Do you watch UFC? I know Dricus du Plessis. I don't often watch it. I watch when Dricus fights. I know him personally. I'm not a huge fan of the sport, guys, but I keep a close eye on it. I find it brutal. Obviously, there's a lot of tactics to it, different game plans. And if you understand the sport, you get behind those game plans. But and I do understand the basics of it because of Dricus. I'm a big fan, and when he fights, I always watch. I get up early in the mornings to watch that. After that recent loss of his, hopefully you will be back in 2026 with a big win against one or two of the best fighters out there. All right, we are wrapping up with the last one here. AB, your super fan is here. All the best for 360 Frequency. So we launched a new Instagram page. Just keep an eye out for that. It's called 360 Frequency. It will have everything to do with the 360 show and lots of interaction with the fans and you guys, as I will make the profile, my personal profile, a bit more personal and maybe business related. We'll see how we go with that. 360 Frequency. Go follow me on Instagram. It is legit. It is official. I'm letting you know right now. You'll see that I personally follow the account as well. We have about 300 followers at the moment. So if you don't mind, go and follow in order not to miss any updates, any news, any personal photos, videos that I will post on there. It's going to be a fun channel, guys. It's on Instagram, and the plan is to get all of you on Instagram over there and have a fun page there. with lots of followers on there. 500 followers now already. So thank you everyone for getting the message and understanding that there's a lot of things happening behind closed doors, and this is the year of letting you all in on that. There's some really exciting stuff happening. We've changed the format of the 360 show as well, and we're going to be having a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy the alien theme, the space theme. We've got a lot of cool things lined up in the near future with that. I've got the best team on my side, and we have a lot of chemistry, and it's all about creating great memories and moments with all of you out there. So thank you very much for the support. Follow this channel, subscribe to it, hit that bell notification. Follow me in social media platforms as well, X, Instagram, and Facebook. And have a wonderful weekend. There they are. The Facebook handle, AB de Villiers 17. You know the number 17 is close to my heart, and therefore at the back end of those handles. But remember, 360 Frequency is the handle on Instagram that I want you to follow as well. And there's the YouTube channel, ABD360. Guys, thanks for the love. Have a wonderful weekend. Turn your television screens on wherever you are in the world. Watch the SA20, watch the WPL and other cricket matches out there. There's also the SA Under-19 tournament starting soon. I am in touch with a youngster called Jason Riles, and he's in the middle order of the SA Under-19 team. They got hammered by the India Under-19 team recently in South Africa. Vaibhav Suryavanshi is there, scored a big 100 in the final match that they played. So they're all moving to Namibia and Zimbabwe to play in the SA Under-19 tournament that's starting this coming week. So keep an eye out for the future stars of the game. Very, very interesting. I've always had a big love for youngsters because that's where it all starts, right? And I know what they feel like as I was completely lost at that age between 17 and 20. I was playing well, performing, ultimately ended up in the Proteas setup at the age of 20. But I was like, I was quite confused, not knowing like what's next. I knew I belonged there, but I was completely undercooked with regards to experience, knowledge of the game, technique, lots of finer details that you don't know about when you hit the international scene. So that's where it all starts, at the under-19 level for these youngsters. Jason Riles from St. David's over there in Joburg. He's only 17 years old. He's a wonderful player. Remember that name. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all soon. Lots of love. Bye now.